You have probably heard the usual stuff about INFJs, right? That they are like these mystical, mind-reading beings who are so incredibly sensitive they might just drift away on a cloud of their own emotions. Or perhaps that they are these walking, talking encyclopedias of profound wisdom, always knowing exactly what to do. If you found yourself nodding along to any of that, well, get ready for a bit of a reality check. Because today, we are getting into it and exposing the 10 biggest, most stubborn lies told about this rare personality type. What if a lot of what you think you know about INFJs is actually just fiction? Hey everyone, and welcome. If you are new around here, I am Herox Dose, and this channel is all about getting past the usual fluff to understand what really makes different personality types tick. INFJs, often called the advocate or counselor, are said to be pretty rare, making up less than 1–2% of people. Because they are not that common and have such a rich inner world, they have become magnets for all sorts of myths and misunderstandings. And these stereotypes, they are not just harmless labels. They can create totally wrong expectations, make INFJs feel like they have to be something they are not, and honestly, just get in the way of truly understanding them. So let us clear the air and bust these common myths one by one, and hopefully paint a much more accurate picture. Myth number 1. INFJs are extremely sensitive and overly emotional. One of the biggest myths out there is that INFJs are like delicate flowers, constantly swamped by their feelings and easily knocked over by the smallest criticism. Here's the thing. INFJs are empathetic, but their sensitivity is often misunderstood. They are intuitives first and feelers second. What really drives them is understanding patterns, deeper meanings, and what might happen in the future. They use their extroverted feeling, phi, to connect with and figure out other people's emotions, but that does not mean they are always lost in their own feelings. Actually, they can sometimes find it tough to process their own emotions because they are often more focused on what everyone else around them is feeling. Myth number 2. INFJs are extremely detail-oriented. If you picture an INFJ, do you see someone who has got every little part of their life perfectly organized? That is mostly not the case. INFJs are not naturally wired for tiny details. Their main way of thinking, introverted intuition, NI, pulls them towards the big picture and abstract ideas. They are searching for the underlying meaning, the grand scheme of things, not necessarily all the little pieces that make it up. Small details in their surroundings might go completely unnoticed unless those details have something to do with people or the emotional vibe they are picking up on. So, do not be shocked if an INFJ remembers your deepest childhood fear but has no idea where they put their keys. Myth number 3. INFJs are psychic or all-knowing. Oh, this is a classic. The idea that INFJs have some kind of mystical sixth sense, that they can read minds or predict the future perfectly, that is a huge exaggeration. Yes, their intuition can be incredibly strong, often leading to some pretty sharp observations and surprisingly accurate guesses about people and situations. But they are not fortune tellers. They are human. They make mistakes. They get things wrong sometimes. And they can give advice with the best intentions that just does not quite hit the mark. This myth puts a really unfair pressure on INFJs, making everyone expect them to have all the answers all the time. Myth number 4. INFJs cannot be tricked or manipulated. Because of that whole psychic intuition thing, a lot of people think INFJs are impossible to fool. Now, while their intuition often does give them a nudge when something is off or someone is not being straight with them, they do not have built-in lie detectors. In fact, because they often want things to be harmonious and tend to give people the benefit of the doubt, they can sometimes be quite vulnerable. This is especially true with skilled manipulators like narcissists, who might play on their empathetic side or their tendency to feel guilt or shame. Myth number 5. INFJs are always compassionate and understanding. INFJs get a lot of credit for their deep empathy and caring nature, and usually it is well deserved. They genuinely do try to understand and support other people. But expecting them to be these never-ending fountains of compassion and understanding just is not realistic or fair. Just like anyone else, INFJs have their limits. If they are stressed out, overwhelmed, or have been let down too many times, they can become distant, pretty critical, or even seem cold. If you expect them to always be that nurturing presence, you are forgetting that they have their own needs and emotional limits too. All right, we are halfway through. Which of these myths have you heard the most? Or maybe, which ones did you kind of believe yourself? Drop a comment below. I would love to hear what you think. Myth number 6. INFJs are too weird or eccentric to fit in. You know the image of the INFJ as this total outsider, too unique or weird to ever really belong? That is a common picture, but it is pretty misleading. While INFJs often do feel different on the inside and might have some unconventional interests or ways of looking at things, they are also known as social chameleons. They have got this amazing knack for adapting to different social situations and can blend in surprisingly well when they want to. Their desire for real connection often pushes them to find common ground, even if they are keeping a very rich and unique inner world to themselves. Myth number 7. INFJs are endlessly selfless. That stereotype of the INFJ as some kind of self-sacrificing hero, always putting everyone else's needs way before their own. It is just too simple. Sure, their extroverted feeling makes them want to be helpful and considerate, but INFJs also know how important their own well-being is. They are absolutely capable of setting boundaries and looking after their own needs, especially as they get older and learn that you really cannot pour from an empty cup. The idea that they are just constantly available to fix everyone else's problems completely ignores their own need for some quiet time and self-care. Myth number 8. INFJs are overly emotional and illogical. This myth tries to say that INFJs are just run by their feelings and cannot think straight. That could not be more wrong. INFJs actually work hard to find a balance between their emotions and logic. Their introverted thinking, TI, even though it is not their main function, gives them a way to analyze things logically. Their empathy does not cancel out their ability to think critically or make objective decisions. Usually they try to use both feeling and thinking to get a well-rounded understanding. They can be deeply feeling and deeply thinking people. Myth number 9. INFJs are perfectionists in every single area. A lot of INFJs do struggle with perfectionism, often setting super high standards for themselves and whatever they are working on. But this perfectionism is rarely an across-the-board thing. An INFJ might be incredibly organized and demand perfection for a project they are really passionate about, but then be surprisingly chill or even a bit neglectful when it comes to everyday chores or parts of life they do not see as that important. Their perfectionism is picky. It is usually aimed at things that line up with their values or their big visions. Myth number 10. INFJs are always introverted and withdrawn. Yes, INFJs are definitely introverts, meaning they recharge their batteries by spending time alone. But that does not mean they are hermits who avoid all human contact. Their extroverted feeling, function, actually gives them a strong desire to connect with people, share ideas, and get involved in causes they believe in. In the right situations, especially when they are talking about something meaningful or are with people they trust, INFJs can come across as quite outgoing, passionate, and engaging. They just need to pull back afterwards to recharge those social batteries. So, there you have it. 10 of the most common myths about INFJs, hopefully all cleared up. We have seen that INFJs are not necessarily super sensitive emotional sponges, and they are not flawless psychics either. They are not always obsessed with details, but they are certainly not purely illogical. Understanding INFJs means looking past these simple and often contradictory stereotypes to really appreciate the fascinating, complex reality of this personality type. If this video helped clear up some confusion for you, or if you are an INFJ who is just tired of hearing these myths, please give this video a thumbs up. And do not forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you do not miss out on more explorations of personality. Now here is a question for you. Are there any other INFJ myths you have come across that you would like to see us talk about? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching and for wanting to understand INFJs, and maybe yourselves, a little better. Getting rid of these myths helps everyone. It lets INFJs feel more seen and understood, and it helps other people connect with them in a much more real way. Until next time, keep seeking clarity and embracing all the interesting complexities of human personality.